Okay, if you saw the thumbnail and clicked on this video thinking you were actually gonna learn about writing a deceit film, y'all are mad. You know the reviews Thugs of Hindostan got, right?
सबसे third class movie थी.
But this thumbnail is actually ironical because Thugs of Hindostan did actually deceive us. People went into the theater expecting a good Pirates of the Caribbean ripoff, and what they got was a horrendous ripoff of Pirates of the Caribbean meets Lagan? I don't know. It's also ironical because I have successfully deceived you into thinking this video is about the art of deceit. Now before you head to the comment section and tell me what a shitface I am and click that unsubscribe button, let me tell you what this video is actually about. In this video, we're going to talk about how not to do plot twists in a film. Let's get started. Look, I have one statement to make. Thugs of Hindostan isn't such a horrible film as people make it out to be. Now, I'm not saying that it's not bad. It's abysmal on a filmmaking level. But as an entertainer, I would honestly put this film on the ranks with films like Simba, Dabangg and Kick. Thugs of Hindostan is basically a parody on itself. The reason this film was widely rejected was because it wasn't a film that was expected out of the Aamir Khan and the Amitabh Bachchan. It's basically what Game of Thrones fans felt at the end of season 8. 7 seasons of build-up and then 8th season mein hug diya. Aamir Khan and Amitabh Bachchan are such credible actors who have built up a formidable reputation for themselves for the past several years. And then they go and make a film like this. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be trying out new different characters, but if you're doing that, choose the right film for it. The problem with Bollywood is that the filmmakers try to fit in a multitude of different genres into one film. And that's exactly what has happened here. It's really difficult to discern whether this film wants to be a drama or a comedy or an adventure mystery film. While it is most certainly okay and non-conventional to a few genres, it's equally important to find the right balance and stick to the original tone of the film, which in this case should have been an action-adventure film. Now there are a million zillion faults in this film, alright? Spanning from continuity errors to disappointing VFX to just plain character faults. Why are the Brits speaking to each other in Hindi? Have they really gotten so accustomed to being in India that they've forgotten their own mother tongue? Why is there an Instagram boomerang effect in a period movie? And why is Katrina Kaif even in the movie? Her character is so pointless. It's moments like these that really pull you out of the film experience. There are so many more that we could list down here, but let's shift our focus to the storyline. Starts off in 1795 India. We're given our basic quantity of exposition and we're told what is at stake. Then we're introduced to our main villain. Which I don't really have a problem with, but what this film does is it tries to make us feel certain emotions at undeserved places. For example, the entrance of the villain is heavily accompanied by an over-the-top villainy soundtrack. And what this is trying to do is it's trying to make me hate the villain before he's even uttered his first word. As an audience, I do not want to be force-fed that information. I don't want to hate the villain just because he's the villain or because the director and soundtrack are indicating me to. I want to hate him for the actions he does, for the distasteful words he has to say, and for his contemptuous behavior. Because as far as psychology works, to hate someone, you can't really adhere to someone else's opinion of them. You have to hate him for yourself, and not just because someone tells you to. Similarly, we have this. But before this, we already have a scene showing our hero riding in on a horse accompanied by the hero soundtrack. So this scene, along with its slow-mo and everything, doesn't really work because we know nothing's gonna happen to her. A simple reordering could have made it so much more efficient. But I'm gonna let it slip because we have much bigger fish to fry. The movie's just gotten started, guys, come on. Moving on, we're introduced to Firangi and his ways of life. We're shown how he thugs a royal family and how he thugs the thugs who thug the royal family. Basically, at this point, the film is set rolling the barrel of plot twists down the hill. And then comes this scene. We're welcomed into the presence of a magnificent statue. It didn't really make sense to me, but then it starts raining and we find out the statue isn't really a statue but a human pyramid of warriors. Okay. This film is so keen on trying to surprise us that it makes the surprise so unbelievable that the audience is left feeling foolish in the end. It is also constantly trying to show off its surprise by repeatedly playing those scenes in slow motion. While it does work for some action sequences, overall it just feels like it's all show and no matter. Also, this character is absolutely useless because all he is a drunk comic relief. And I think it's safe to say that he isn't comic at all. As for Amitabh Bachchan and his character, I never really thought I'd see him do this. After doing something so cool as this. Because this is such an out of character thing to do, considering that Khuda Bakhsh is established as such a serious leader. But this film doesn't seem to take itself seriously, so I guess that's the end of that conversation. Another problem with this film is that its characters don't have any consequences for their actions. They walk out scot-free. Say for example this scene, where Firangi has just betrayed Khuda Bakhsh and what ensues is a fight that defies the laws of physics, but then Firangi has a change of heart and saves Khuda Bakhsh and everything is fine all of a sudden, and then he tells Firangi to save Zafira because he's decided to fight all the British by himself. Okay, fine. But then this happens. Firangi literally slashes the throats and kills British soldiers and saves Zafira after pledging loyalty to them. You're telling me that no one else saw him do that? And none of the surviving soldiers snitched either? Nope, they're all just happy that Khuda Bakhsh is dead. Which, by the way, I thought was a pretty ballsy move and something I wasn't expecting. And for the first time, I was genuinely surprised. They killed off such a big character in the first half. For the first time, they had subverted expectations in the right way. But then because this film is so obsessed with shocking the audience with plot twist after plot twist, they went ahead and did this. Should have known. Should have known they were gonna do this. Again, no consequences. He literally rammed an entire ship into another ship and was engulfed in a huge explosion. I'm not even considering the fact that he was shot before that. How the do you survive an explosion? Anyway, the film moves on and does what it does best, make logically flawed decisions. Let me give you a bit of pretext. At this point, Firangi has betrayed the Brits twice and they've finally come to their senses and are after him and the Azad group. But when this song starts and the Brits see that they're all together, what do? Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We shall wait for them to finish dancing and then we'll arrest them. Cool? Okay. Honestly, I don't think the Britishers were this polite. And this is what pisses me off so much. Many Bollywood directors often trade logic for spectacle. Stop dancing and cut me loose, you dipshits. The rest of the film follows the same route. Twist over twist over twist over twist. Which at this point is just plain annoying. One of the most absurd twists that I've seen is this one. This was honestly just a rotten cherry on top of a rotten cake. The idea of this film was to show that the Brits are evil. In fact, even this character is evil. By making him say this one line, you're telling the audience to forget who he was as a character and take him up to be this new man. In simpler terms, this dialogue is a very out of character thing to say. And I'm not even considering the fact that less than 30 minutes ago, Firangi beat his ass and sent him flying back. This scene has been put in there solely for one reason and two words. Plot twist. Even after all these egregious faults, I'm still willing to rule it as an average film. Because if you get rid of all the dance sequences and the stupid stuff, the idea of having a Pirates of the Caribbean inspired film set against the backdrop of India under British rule is a brilliant concept. Afsos ki baat ye hai ki Thugs of Hindostan could have been an amazing action adventure film. It could have even beat Sanjay Leela Bhansali at his own game. And that potential is very clearly visible through under this disaster of a film. The problem is, this film seems to have an identity crisis. It wants to be an action adventure but then tries too hard to be comedic and over the top. The movie seems to have confused entertainment with comedy, because it tries very hard to get laughs whenever Aamir Khan is on screen. Which, by the way, I'm all for Aamir Khan's character. I love horny Aamir Khan. It's fucking hilarious. What frustrates me the most is that when I watched the trailer, given and agreed that the VFX was questionable, I was still very excited to watch this film. I wanted to like it so much. And I feel bad picking on this film like a vulture picking on a dead man's meat, but this film needs to be torn apart and forgotten so that a better Thugs of Hindostan can be reborn. That is it for this video, guys. Hope you liked this video. If you did not, there's a dislike button down there. But if you did like it, hit that like and subscribe button. Tell me down in the comment section below what you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!